Okay, so the NFC East was officially decided. Sad, but it was. It was officially decided, and Washington football team made it out of there. And I'm not really a fan of... I'm not a fan of people always benching, like resting their guys. Like, I get it towards the end of the season. You don't want anyone to get hurt. I understand that. But what we saw from Philadelphia the other day, like you're watching the football game between Washington and Philadelphia, and what we saw from them was pretty awful. So if anyone doesn't know or doesn't remember, Washington had to win the football game in order to make the playoffs. The Giants won their game, so all they needed Washington to do was lose and Philadelphia to beat Washington in order for the Giants to make the playoffs at 6-10. Keep that in mind. So 6-10. And so what we saw on Sunday night was Jalen Hurts and the and the Philadelphia Eagles against the Washington football teammate Alex Smith. And what was it? The start of the fourth quarter, it was 17-14. People want to kind of go back to earlier in the game, like the third quarter, I believe it was, or maybe it was like the beginning of the fourth, 1 or 2, where they went for it on 4th and goal, like 4 yards away. Oh, take the points. Personally, I'm kind of like, no, go for it to win. Like, what do you have to lose? Like, they have nothing to lose. Might as well go and try and go for the win. Like, Giants fans, wouldn't you have been happy? Here's the thing, too. This is what people are, it's just how it works. And I would have gone for it on 4th and goal right there, too. Just because, like, whatever. Like, who cares? But when you look back on it, people want to say, oh, well, they should have gone for it. Well, yeah, but you're saying that now because they didn't get it. Like, if they would have gotten that touchdown, the game would have been different. I understand. But that didn't happen. So, my opinion, again, I would have gone for it. Probably not the same play call, but I would have gone for it. Because what do I have to lose? And Giants fans would have been happy to see, my God, they are trying to win this game. Right? And then enter Nate Sudfeld. Who? I'm not questioning like who Nate is or like, well, I guess I really haven't heard of him. Then reports are, then let me just backtrack a little bit. The reports were that Doug Peterson came out and said, if Jalen Hurts is struggling, we are going to give Nate Sudfeld some reps, get him in the game. So when he was put into the game, now mind you, Jalen Hurts accounted for 2 touchdowns of the Eagles running the football. Yes, he was 7 for 20 throwing the ball, but he was like your best offensive weapon, like moving the ball. Like you can't dispute that. So you put Nate Sudfeld in, and it just went down the drain. You weren't moving the ball. Nothing was happening. Al Michaels saw a pass, and I died laughing when I saw this. Like, Nate Sudfeld threw a pass to a running back, went overhead. He goes, what was that? Like, I died laughing when I saw that. I'm like, he just said, what was that? A terrible throw by a guy who, personally, here's my thing is this, and I'm going to take both sides of this scenario, so please hear me out. Looking from the Eagles' standpoint, apparently there was talks of getting this guy some playing time. Cool. So if you said this before, fine. I get it. But the Eagles don't care about the Giants. Let that be clear. And I'm not too sure if they were trying to, quote, tank, throw the game, cost the Giants their season. Oh, they like Washington more than they like the New York Giants. I'm not too sure of any of that. What I am sure of is that Nate Sudfeld was put in the freaking game. And he sucked. Like, I'm sorry. And I'm sorry, Nate Sudfeld, but your stats were terrible. It just wasn't good. It wasn't pretty. I'm sorry. But looking at the Giants' anger and the fans' anger overall, and actually, let me go back really quick. Because people want to actually call out the Giants. They want to say, oh, well, you should not have won 6 games. You should not have been 6-10. You wouldn't be mad. Like, first off, do you realize that Washington got in at 7-9? 7-9. They made the playoffs. And guess what? They lost to the Giants both games this year. What more do you want? If you look at the division, how they fared in the division of the NFC least. Shout out to @SportsProfit1. Even though I know everyone's calling, but like I said, I'll still give them a shout out. In the division, the Giants were 4-2. Washington was 4-2. What? So you can't fault the Giants for being upset by what they saw. And people want to sit there and like, well, the Giants should be mad because they should have just won their games. You're right. Everybody in the NFC East should have won their games. Everybody should have. And then I wouldn't be so mad that a 7-9 division winner is hosting a playoff game. So let's not try and twist this around and saying that the Giants shouldn't be mad. Of course they should. Everybody should be mad. Like, this team, all these teams stink. They all stink. But everyone's pointing to the Giants about being upset. Giants fans being upset. Fans of football being upset about seeing a Nate Sudfeld come in the game. You want to know why that people are upset? Because you benched Carson Wentz for Jalen Hurts to find out what you have in Jalen Hurts. Was Nate Sudfeld like the future too? You drafted this guy in the 2nd round, Jalen Hurts, a rookie who won his first start, lost everything after, but won his first start, and now you take him out when he has been the one to account for your touchdowns and got you in position for at least a field goal. So why? So you take him out to evaluate a guy who's your 3rd string quarterback. If you want to who's going to be our backup next year? Dude, you can draft somebody. Like, is Jalen Hurts your guy? Yes, no. You find out in the game. So that's the problem that Giants fans and football fans are having. So that's my problem. And people want to say, well, everyone can bench, people can rest their guys. Yeah, because they've already clinched a home game week by week, so why risk injury? Teams like Philadelphia, they don't care. They already had half their roster out with injury and COVID. God forbid what, healthy scratches, I don't know. But I know I'm getting upset on both sides. And I get the Eagles have the right to do whatever they want to do. It's their team. They could go and put nobody out there. I don't know who, if it was a throwing of the game, like tanking or whatever it is, I don't know who did it better. Doug Peterson or Paul Crewe from The Longest Yard. Like, I don't know who did it better. But let's just remember, Washington is in at 7-9. I'm not saying they don't deserve to win the division. I'm saying this division stinks on ice. Yes, it's happened. Yes, we've had 8-8 teams win their division. Yes, I get that. But don't point to Giants fans saying they have no reason to be upset about what they saw. Like, can we all agree? Who was the quarterback that gave them the best chance to win against Washington? Who was it? Was it Nate Sudfeld? If it was, for the love of good Lord Almighty, tell me if you really thought it was Nate Sudfeld and reach out to me somehow. But if you saw what we all saw, Jalen Hurts at least leading the team down the field with his legs, getting them in position, making some decent throws. If you saw that, then you know that Jalen Hurts gave this team the best chance to win. And people want to point out, well, they went from they could have been the 9th pick in the draft and they went down to the 6th pick. Cool! It's not, and this is the point. If they really were trying to tank, I'm not saying they were, but it's just weird. Like, you pull out the guy that you're trying to evaluate for your future. You pull out the guy that was actually giving you the best chance to score. So it's weird how this all happened. But we went from the 9th pick to the 6th pick. My thing is this. Years ago, when the Colts were complete garbage, when Peyton Manning was injured, they stunk for the first overall pick. Like the last game of the season, I think they put in Charlie Whitehurst, and he played terrible, and it locked up the first overall pick for Andrew Luck. That makes sense if you have a chance to get the quarterback you want. If you don't have the chance to get the quarterback you want, or a franchise-changing quarterback, then why bother? Yes, Devontae Smith may not be there at 9. I'm telling you right now, a receiver is the least of your worries, Eagles fans. You need help at corner. You need help on the defensive front. You need help at linebacker. Definitely maybe an offensive lineman. You need help. So if you're trying to sit there and really be happy about the 6th overall pick, be my guest. But let me tell you something. You can't Eagles personnel, organization, whoever hears this, even the mascot, whatever. You can't sit there and say what we saw from the Philadelphia Eagles against Washington on Sunday night was just normal. It was awful. It ruins the sport when you see that. And I understand people want to say, well, he said he was going to put Sudfeld in. Dude, you're evaluating your future. Is he really your future? Jalen Hurts is your future, not Nate Sudfeld. And if you don't think Jalen Hurts is your future, then so be it. But man, that was not pretty to watch.